Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of Language and Services. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of communication, especially in the context of service industries. You know, it's interesting how language can sometimes create barriers, but it can also be a bridge. Just the other day, I was on a flight and I overheard a conversation that really struck me. A passenger asked for a napkin and the flight attendant responded in a rather dismissive way, saying, "If you don't know how to say napkin in English, then you don't deserve it." Can you believe that? I mean, it's a napkin. It's not like they were asking for a 5-course meal.
Wow, that's pretty harsh. I mean, what if they were just learning? Like, I remember when I tried to order food in a foreign country and I ended up asking for a chicken with a side of confusion instead of just chicken. So, what do you think? Shouldn't we be more patient with people who are trying to communicate?
Absolutely. It's all about empathy. When we're in a service role, our job is to make people feel welcome, regardless of their language skills. I once had a friend who traveled to Japan and didn't speak a word of Japanese, but he learned a few key phrases, like arigato for thank you, and the locals were so appreciative. It's like a little effort goes a long way. It's not just about the words, it's about the intention behind them.
Right. So, like, if someone is trying their best, we should totally encourage that. But what if they mess up? Like, what if they accidentally ask for something really weird? I mean, I once asked for a cactus juices at a bar thinking it was a real drink, and the bartender just stared at me like I was from another planet. How do we handle those situations?
Great question. It's all about maintaining a sense of humor and grace. If someone asks for something bizarre, instead of making them feel embarrassed, a good service provider might say something like, "I've never heard of that, but let me see what I can do." It's about creating a positive experience. I remember a time when a customer asked for a cactus juices too, and the bartender, instead of laughing, said, "I can whip you up a refreshing drink that's just as unique." It turned into a fun moment.
Oh, that's so cool. So it's like turning a potential awkward moment into a memorable experience. But what if someone is just really rude? Like, how do you deal with that? I mean, I once had a guy at a coffee shop who yelled at the barista because they got his order wrong. It was so uncomfortable.
That's a tough one. Rudeness can be challenging, but it's important to remember that often people are having a bad day. A calm response can diffuse the situation. I once saw a barista handle a rude customer by simply saying, "I'm really sorry about that. Let's fix it together." It's about taking the high road and not letting negativity affect your service. It's like being a lighthouse in a storm, guiding people back to calm waters.
Wow, I love that analogy. So it's like being a beacon of positivity. But what if you're not feeling positive yourself? Like, can you still provide good service when you're having a rough day?
That's a real challenge, and it's something many in service roles face. It's crucial to find ways to recharge and not let personal issues spill over into work. I've seen people take a moment to breathe, or even step away for a quick chat with a colleague to reset their mood. It's all about self-awareness and knowing when to take a step back. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right. So it's like self-care is part of the job too. I mean, I've had days where I felt like a deflated balloon and I just couldn't muster the energy to be cheerful. Do you think that's something that can be taught, or is it more of a personal journey?
It can definitely be taught. Training programs that focus on emotional intelligence and resilience can help service workers develop those skills. It's about creating a culture where self-care is valued. I once attended a workshop where they taught us breathing techniques and mindfulness practices. It was a game changer. It's like learning to be a superhero in your own life, ready to tackle any challenge that comes your way.
Superhero vibes. I love that. So it's all about building a supportive environment. But what about the customers? How can they help create a better experience too?
Great point. Customers play a huge role in the service experience. Simple things like being polite, showing appreciation, and even just smiling can make a world of difference. I remember a time when a customer thanked a waiter for their hard work, and you could see the waiter's face light up. It's like a ripple effect of positivity. When customers engage positively, it encourages better service all around.
Oh, totally. It's like a dance, right? Both sides have to be in sync. I wonder if there are any studies on how positivity affects service outcomes. That would be super interesting to explore.
There are indeed studies. Research shows that positive interactions lead to higher customer satisfaction and loyalty. It's fascinating how a little kindness can create a lasting impact. It's like planting seeds of goodwill that can grow into a beautiful garden of relationships. So, let's keep that in mind as we navigate the world of service and communication.
Wow, that's such a beautiful way to put it. I love the garden analogy. It really makes you think about how our actions can bloom into something wonderful. I can't wait to see how this all unfolds in our daily lives.